If I could give you one piece of content creation advice, it would be this: stop posting on the fly and try this trick instead. If you found yourself just feeling a little too overwhelmed or stressed out with your content creation, and you find that you're posting on the fly, maybe in between client meetings or during your lunch break or after your kids have gone to bed because you just happen to forget to update your stories that day, or maybe post on Threads or on LinkedIn or on Facebook, and all of a sudden life gets in the way, and the next thing you know, a couple of weeks has gone by and you have no content to show for it, I have to definitely lovingly encourage you to stop posting on the fly. And last video, I actually showed you guys this board, which is our content bank. It's one of the things that I highly recommend every single business develops in their content strategy. And one of the things that I find really helpful is thinking of ways that you can actually create content ahead of time. Now, I'm not saying by any means that you should not be posting and creating content when you can find the pockets of time to do so, but it does remove such a great amount of stress when you can use those pockets of time to create a bunch of the same content at once and then schedule that content out in advance. So I'm going to show you here how we use Evernote to do this exact thing. Now, in a couple videos ago, actually, we will link it here, I showed you guys how to create a content calendar. I even gave you my content calendar template, which we have put a lot of time, energy into developing. So if you haven't watched that video, go check that out now. But as we were sharing, you really want to break down your content into different content buckets. And you'll see that we have that here on Evernote, where there's like different themes: original thoughts, quotes, lead magnets and copy, promos, questions and prompts, ideas and inspiration, snippet videos, webinars and classes, right? Different types of content to help us organize what we're putting together on our social media accounts. And if you think about your content like you think of an editorial magazine, because really that's what it is in a lot of ways, you'll know that magazines have different sections. They have, the gossip column, or they have the fashion column, or, if it's a business magazine, then they will have latest news and finance, and they'll talk about startups and all the things, right? There's different sections, there's different topics, there's different themes. And so this concept of content marketing that we have come to know is very modern to us, right? Because we have just kind of gone into this new iteration of content marketing where we are all able to produce it through social media and our own websites and long form platforms like a podcast or a YouTube channel. But we don't think about the fact that content has been around for a very, very long time. And so from magazines to TV stations, editorial content has always existed. And one of the things that we want to think about when we're creating our strategy is using a similar framework to adapt our content to social media, depending on the platforms that we're using. And one of those strategies is, again, just thinking of your content in buckets, very much like an editor would if, let's say, you were running something like a magazine, even though we're not doing that, right? We're creating marketing content for our businesses. So that's just kind of frame of reference to help you understand a little better of what this looks like. And so if we're going back here to our Trello board with our content bank, I want to take you actually to Evernote. You'll see that on some of these, we have our Evernote linked here. And this is something that you can do. Don't get hung up on the tool, guys. This happens all the time. Don't get hung up on the tool. The tool is really helpful. I love Evernote, but there's tons of other options, right? You could use ClickUp Documents, you could use Google Docs, you could use Notion. The point is that you have a place where you can actually create and curate a bunch of the same type of post in advance. So for example, I know that I'm going to be posting questions maybe once or twice a week on my Facebook page, and I will do that as well on Threads. Instead of coming up with a question on the fly, which sometimes I will, sometimes I absolutely will, there is something to be said about creating fresh content. But it really helps if you can just start with a content bank. So I sat down for maybe 30, 40 minutes and just started creating a curated list of questions that I could ask, right? So many things that just came to mind that I could make a little bit more engaging. I would test it out and see if it resonated with our audience. And if I pull you in a little closer so you can see here, you'll see that I just type it out like it was an actual post. Serious question. What's your go-to work from home Spotify playlist? I love a suggestion. Curious, if you had an unlimited budget to hire one new role in your team right now, who would it be and why? And so you want to take the same framework and adapt it to your own business and start curating a bunch of the same type of content in one place so that you can download the Evernote app or the Notion app, or just have it on your Apple Notes and just copy and paste it. Or better yet, schedule it in advance in something like CoSchedule or Hootsuite or Buffer, whatever tool you're using to schedule content. Now, this is really helpful too if you're creating content like me with a team, so we're collaborating on this process. I can't possibly keep all my channels updated on my own, and so I hope that you get to a point soon where you actually hire someone into the process of helping you, create your content. And if you're inside a content calendar system and you have the outsourcing formula bonus, we walk you step by step through how to train your VA, how to find a VA, how to actually build, a team that helps you actually create content for very inexpensive. So it's one of the things I wanted to mention here, because you shouldn't be the only one who's creating content for your company forever, right? We want to think about the future too. And one of the things that I do is I just have these color coded. So if I've used these, for example, here, I have it here for our content manager, Belle, and when she's scheduling content for our Facebook page, she knows that anything that's highlighted in this color has been used within the past month. So if we're using this question and, we're trying to figure out like, okay, which ones can we use? We don't want to repeat them too often, right? We want to make sure that they stay pretty evergreen. Once we use it, we just highlight it into pink. And that way we know, what has already been used. We'll do the same thing with like original thoughts or advice. And these are like little one-line posts that we can publish, especially on platforms like Threads and even Facebook. Quick tips. So these are just things that are short and to the point, same thing, color-coded. So these can be really simple tips that we're sharing on Threads or on Facebook or even on a platform like LinkedIn, depending on, who your audience is. And finally, just quotes. I just throw in a bunch of quotes just as I'm reading books or as I am, stumbling through quotes on Pinterest or even on, I'll throw some of these from Google. And we will have just a ton of quotes that we can share with our audience. It just resonates and inspires us and inspires them as well. So this is a super simple and easy way of starting to create some of the content in your content bank in advance and not stress out about having to create everything on the fly, especially on those days where maybe you haven't scheduled anything in advance, haven't had a chance to plan anything. You can go to your Evernote bank or whatever note-taking tool that you use and know that you have a bunch of pre-written content that you can use to post right then and there. And hey, if you found these tips helpful, Chris and I are hosting a very exciting new event next month. This is September. So if you're watching this as it goes out, there will be a wait list below this video where you can get some of the details. We haven't announced the date yet, but it's going to be sometime in September. It's going to be a 3-day live event where we're going to help you actually put together an amazing content strategy to help grow your audience and then turn more of your followers into buyers. This event is specifically for entrepreneurs and small business owners who want to leverage content marketing to stay consistent and grow their business. I am so extremely excited. We have hosted live events before many times for our paid clients, but this is the first time we're opening one up to the public. And if you guys like it and we like it, we might do it again. So definitely check out the link in the video to sign up for the waitlist. We will announce dates shortly and open up registration. We're so excited to be spending 3 really awesome days on a workshop. There's going to be giveaways and contests and tons of really fun stuff. And I think you're going to love it. So check the link below in the description and I hope to see you there. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this channel for more awesome tutorials like this one. Un beso, and I will see you in the next one, familia. Bye for now.